The outside world views Iranian women as being silently oppressed. Oppressed they may be, silent they are not. How women look and act is an unavoidable national issue, and many women here find themselves in conflict with the authorities every day.
You can't film. He said, we can't film, but we can go have a coffee.
To see how that works, look at the scene we filmed surreptitiously in Tehran recently. 2 young women being told they couldn't enter a park because their clothes were too form-fitting, not modest enough.
How is what I'm wearing different from you?
You know the rules. You can't come in here dressed that way.
Such scenes happen every day. The law says every female over the age of 8 must conceal her shape and cover everything but her face and hands when she is in public. Many find the restrictions irritating and in hot weather downright uncomfortable. And so, on the streets of every Iranian city, women push the limits of the law. To an outsider, the rules seem haphazard. Women must sit in the back of the buses. There are separate subway cars for women, but on the subway they can ride with men if they want to. Women can go to class with men. They can drive and go to the movies. But they can't go to the soccer game. And no physical contact is permitted at all, not even shaking hands. A lot of women we met felt that in Iranian society the dress code at least was a protection.
If I go to the streets with a colorful uniform, they look at me in a very bad way, and I just feel bothered. And it's not really good, you know. They look at my body and I hate it. I feel like I'm exploding.
Other women, like these law students, don't mind the social segregation.
They won't allow us to sit in the front.
Nor even waiting for the next bus when the women's section is full.
I don't mind. There's another one.
But the laws requiring hijab and social segregation are also indicators of the very different legal and social status for women in Iran. To the clerics who control Iran's law, God made the rules and strictly defined the rights and obligation of men and women with one thing in mind.
Islam says because there are some differences between man and woman, there should be some differences between the rights. It doesn't mean that it is always against women. It is sometimes against men because they have some more responsibilities more than the women.
With that responsibility comes authority. Marriage, child custody, inheritance, travel. In every instance, women are legally supervised by their husbands or male relatives. So beneath Iranian women's scarves and chadors, a movement for change has been gaining strength. And the government has learned it is much easier to control what people wear than what they think. Those in power say the advocates of change are overlooking the very real progress women have made in the 30 years since the revolution.
Before the revolution, only a third of Iranian girls could even read or write. Now, 65% of our university students are women. And in the medical and pharmacy schools, 70 or 80% are women.
Nahid Rampanahi is the vice president of Iran Census Bureau.
In the past, women were only given opportunities if they were attractive, not because they were smart or had skills. Today, Iranian women are in every arena, from the Olympics to industry to science and engineering. They're making a huge impact on the world.
The nation's theological leaders say that such progress demonstrates that Iran's laws are designed not to restrict women's rights, but to protect Muslim families.
If you take care of the family, you have taken care of the society. And now we have a very powerful family system in Iran. Marriage and family, it is very important. The number of the people that they are living lonely in Iran, it is so much less than the number that they are living, for example, in United States.
Compared to places nearby like Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia, the Ayatollah's interpretation of Sharia law looks positively open-minded. The idea that women could race cars would be shocking in any of the Persian Gulf states.
I love driving and speed, and my husband was in this business, so it was natural for me to become one.
I have been racing for 5 years, in the last 3 years with Ms. Hodai's team.
But in Iran, women at the wheel are okay. The main reason? There is nothing revealing about a racing suit.
The male drivers are supportive of us, and we race next to them all the time.
Any sport that could involve physical contact with men, or even being seen without a hijab by unrelated males, is forbidden. So women can burn up the track, but Iran's Olympic teams have no female runners, swimmers, or gymnasts. For outsiders to focus on that stuff isn't really fair, say people like former Vice President Masoumieh Eftekhar.
The status of women has improved immensely after the revolution.
30 years ago, Eftekhar was the spokeswoman for the students who took American diplomats hostage. At that time, just being literate made her a minority.
Those who have had access to education after the Islamic Revolution, they are practically 100% literate.
The problem for Iran's conservative political and religious leaders is that places like Tehran University have now produced a generation of educated women who are focused on how things are now, not how bad they used to be. Those women are a demographic time bomb. They are educated enough to be aware of the rights women have elsewhere. They can read the Quran for themselves and find in it a vision of an Islamic society that truly treats them as equals. This is Bijan Saliani for World Focus in Tehran.